Is there any way that, I mean, I have a lot of writers on my team that are pretty much generalists, but is there any way to find writers that are actually have like intrinsic knowledge into dental, like maybe a dental assistant that also writes articles? Like that's
sure, absolutely.
How do you find those kind of writers?
We've tried that before in the past, but one, it rakes the premium huge. It just rakes it.
Right.
And that's a rake with a K.
I mean, you're paying probably like 10 cents a word, right?
Oh, it plus.
Opposed to like 2.
So when
bend over.
Well, no, I pay more than that, but
yeah.
I mean, but when you segment these guys and they get comfortable writing about the material, and it's pretty, unless you get into specialists and some of those the particulars of the specialties, a lot of it's pretty, I hate to say it's pretty standardized, but for the most part it is, and that gives each dentist an opportunity to manipulate, if they want, some of the particulars of their practice. But more often than not, it's pretty similar. And then depending upon, whether it's general or Cosmo, or when you get into those super high-end Cosmos, they want a little bit more glam on that writing, and then we move it to a different writer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have one of our doctors is a prosthodontist, and she requires a little bit more investment when it comes to generating content, because she's very, very particular and her stuff, when it gets procedural, gets really deep water in a hurry.
Yeah.
But what he was referencing about a lot of it being kind of a generalist, that's where I have the benefit of all of that pre-written content. A lot of this stuff, there may be some new technology and new, like, slight tweaks on an approach, but the core fundamentals of dentistry have not really changed those significantly in the last probably 20 years, as far as just talking at a real high level website. And some of it too, I mean, it depends on we got an oral surgeon that actually it's not technically in practice. He's more trying to attract other doctors to his seminars, and him and the prosthodontist are the two that are really difficult to find content for, because they're writing, it's doctor to doctor, and it's deep water Latin, the full 9 yards with it.
What do you do for content, Rick?
Rick writes himself.
I did actually. My first client, I wrote the whole website myself.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, I just kind of rewrote some things and added to it. But I hire 2 types of writers. I hire blog writers, and then I hire service page, homepage writers. And I'm actually redoing a bunch of my client sites right now, where I'm focusing on writers that they don't have to have experience in dentistry necessarily, but they just know how to sell and hit on emotions and pain points and benefits, because the service pages and homepages aren't supposed to be that technical anyways, right? I mean, they're supposed to just kind of drive the push of the appointment or the sell, and let pretty much anybody who comes to the website understand what's going on there. So the blog writers are a little bit different, more of an essay style writing. So I just hire people who understand how to like research a topic and write about it. And then I'll go in and tweak it, or have my team tweak it for SEO purposes. But I need to tighten up my writing, as far as who I'm hiring. I need to tighten up my process there, because I'm starting to see the benefit of having better writers, whether it be sales, blogging, or what we're talking about with the technical stuff. Like, I don't think anybody can just write on these sites anymore. I think it's getting a lot more strict. So, but like I said, for the home pages and services, more of a sales copy than it is technical.
Isn't that kind of what the update was addressing, was the authority of the content itself?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. How do they judge? I don't know. I'm not sure how they judge that. I'm not too sure.
Ken's got something to say.
Yeah.
I'm leaning in. So I got one. I only had one guy take a bath, and I'm in the waiting game right now, but his content's good. His UX is great. I mean, his one primary word went from 5 to 105. I'm not, and everybody else moved up. And so what's interesting about it is we're pretty standardized in how we build, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so there's only a couple particulars about his site that was different than the rest. And so Right now we're looking at, internal linking is what is really where we're leaning right now, and which is why we're having to wait. So there's something technical about that site. And, my partner is a dev of over 20 years. And so at this point we're waiting for, particular recrawl and, re-indexing of everything. So there's not a whole lot we can do. We've cleaned the thing up to the max. It's very interesting. The content, if there was any content, there was some city pages on there that were slightly questionable, but everybody and their mother's doing that. So unless we got hammered on that one particular, and just to set an example for some reason, which is not going to be the case, it must have hit manual. That's the only way this happened. We just don't have any manual notations. So yeah, still waiting on that one.